And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, a real estate and finance expert, and goes to bat for you every day as your consumer advocate. Your host, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the timely truth centered around real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, intellectual property law, and so much more. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, where our number one goals are to educate, entertain, enlighten, but most importantly, we want to engage you in an effort to help you win in any marketplace.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Now, I want you to pull out your smartphone, save our Consumer Advocate hotline number in your phone. It's 813-917-1894.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
That's right. We love it when that hotline blings. Give us a call, 813-917-1894. Don't forget our number. Bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. 80 different show partners, expert contributors are located there at consumerqb.com. You can also watch the live stream version of our show by clicking on the live stream link, as well as all of our expert contributors' content listings from Platinum MVP Realty, our premier sponsor, as well. And we don't care if you're climbing a corporate ladder or if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work. This show's for you. We're going to help you win no matter what you're facing out there. This segment is brought to you by Kipton's, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora in St. Pete Beach. It's the first new hotel built in decades on St. Pete Beach. And its Spanish ancestry meets cool Mediterranean attitude. Whitewashed Mediterranean palace, expansive luxury suites with balconies overlooking the intercoastal waterway, rooftop yoga, and the Castile restaurant. Excellent food and a great place to live, work, and play. That is Tampa Bay. All right, we're going to go around the horn now, make our introductions. Back in studio, expert contributor in the areas of business brokerage. He's a top business broker in the area. Transworld Business Advisors, James Lascano. Welcome back in.
Thank you very much, Brandon. I love being here. Good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful Monday morning, and we're looking forward to go ahead and, again, provide every type of information we can for your business. Looking forward to the show.
Have a lot of fun. Also in studio, attorney Chris Tanner. He's the owner of Panner Tatton, and he's also a intellectual property attorney here in Tampa Bay as well. Welcome in.
Hi, thanks for having me, Brandon. Good to be here.
Absolutely, thanks for coming in. And also Matthew Fonk, Cavalier Estates LLC, property management expert. Welcome in.
Hey, thank you. Looks like we got a good lineup here. James and Chris, nice to see you. And we'll be talking about some property management stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's right. We got an interesting top 10 we're going to jump into in maybe the third segment or so, fourth segment. The top 10 most valuable brands in the world, according to Business Insider. And we've got a couple of hot listings I want to let you know about from Platinum MVP Realty. This one just hit the market. 84-acre development opportunity, 2606 North Valrico Road in Seffner, listed at $1.79 million. And it's a great residential development opportunity. 84 acres out in East County with close proximity to the interstate right there at I-75, 2606 North Valrico Road. And then I just listed as well on Dr. Martin Luther King, East Dr. Martin Luther King. It's 11515, another little over acre parcel of land right there, $199,000 on a 6-lane highway. So great buying opportunities here in beautiful Tampa Bay.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
And attention business owners, entrepreneurs, anyone looking to grow their business. We have a business growth seminar happening on Friday, the 24th of March, coming up in less than 3 weeks here at the Hotel Zamora, our hotel partner, St. Pete Beach. And we want you to please RSVP for this free event Friday, March 24th, 3 p.m. at 3701 Gulf Boulevard, St. Pete Beach. And what we're doing is from 3 o'clock to 5:30, we're going to deliver pure content to help business owners grow. We have a business coach going to be there talking about the 6 universal principles of mastering persuasion and influence, as well as the 7 key principles to business growth. We're also going to have Brian Hall from Rhymes Media Group, Deborah Schreiber there as well, talking about the ways that you can beat your competition online. So that's 3 to 5:30 on Friday, March 24th. And then at 5:30, we're going to proceed up to the lounge on the rooftop. We have a rooftop happy hour at 5:30 at the Hotel Zamora as well. So come on out, send an RSVP, let us know you're going to be coming, and we would love to see you there. And there's multiple ways to engage. Again, you could send a text to our hotline, 917-1894, and you can also submit the form at consumerqb.com. Now, we always start off with a little personal development. We want to help you with your personal development. Constant and never-ending improvement is a part of my life and a lot of our business partners here with the show and different folks that we're engaged with. So we want to help you call that audible. So what we did, and I was listening to The Compound Effect with Darren Hardy, and he was pointing out that Brian Tracy's book, in his book called Focal Point, he talks about small disciplines that are practiced daily. And the key is to start now, take small steps. The old adage is that 1,000-mile trip starts with that one step, right? So the key is to model. It's a model on how to improve in any aspect of your life by 1,000%. Not 10%, not 100% better. We're talking about 1,000%. And here's the key. All you have to do is improve yourself, your performance, your output, your strategy, and it's going to equal your earning power by 0.1% each work day. You even get to take the weekends off. And so that's 1/100th. So you think you can do that? And the answer, of course, is yes. It's simple. Anyone can do this. So the translation, what that equals, if you make those small incremental improvements, is 2% each month improvement. And when you compound that 26% each year, your income now doubles every 2.9 years. And by year 10, you have the potential to earn 1,000 times more than what you are currently earning. And it's awesome, isn't it? It's very awesome to know that those small incremental improvements daily, it's not some huge act of greatness that you're looking for here. It's just those small incremental improvements. And there's ways to do that. You can listen to podcasts. You can read more. You can engage more. There's so many different ways that you can go out. You can seek out a mentor. Find someone to mentor you. Multiple ways to help you grow. That's the consumer advocate approach, helping small business owners, helping our listeners out there and our viewers win in any marketplace. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it. James Lascano, Transworld Business Advisors. I love the approach that you take when it comes to helping business owners. You have a very educational and consultative approach, James, and I really appreciate that.
Thank you very much, Brandon. One of the most important things, and we do, of course, like you said, is we go ahead and we sit down and we talk to either a buyer or a seller, and we explain everything. I actually had a meeting right now recently with a gentleman, and unfortunately, I wasn't going to be able to help him. He's about 80-year-old gentleman. He owns a store that's been around for roughly about 60 years.
Wow.
Okay. And in Florida, he moved from West Palm, moved to Tampa about 30 years ago, and he continued the same brand, did very well. He told me there used to be, and I wasn't aware of this, there used to be the Tampa Bay Mall where the stadium is. And I wasn't aware of that, and he told me, James, that's where we had my store. And I used to do $1 million a year on there. I was like, wow. So, it's a great thing to be able to meet such people, good, hardworking people, and now he's just like ready to retire. Unfortunately, his timeline is not with what normally we would be able to work with. So I had to tell him unfortunately I'm not able to, but I gave him good advice on how he should approach moving forward. Remember, our job is to help anyone that we can, and if we're able to go ahead and move forward, we will. But if I can't, I'll be very upfront with it. I don't want to go ahead and give anybody false expectations.
Yeah, you want to outline those for him. And I think one of the key points when James Lascano, Transworld Business Advisors, when he sits down with a client, he's acting as a transaction broker, and he's helping educate them about the process. And a large part of it, James, is making sure you have accurate record keeping and proper books in place.
Correct. That's one of the most important things is, look, when you're thinking of going ahead and selling a business, please, you got to look at your numbers. Remember, this is an investment for somebody else. You have poured your heart and soul into it, and we understand, believe it, this is what we do. Here, all of us here, we all are entrepreneurs. We love what we do, and it's personal to us. But the lady or the gentleman that's coming into them, it may become personal down the road, but right now it's just an investment. It's like, how long is it going to take for me to get my money back from the investment I'm doing? Because they're normally doing a sizable investment. I was trying to tell someone recently that for for business deals, $20,000-$30,000 is very small. Most of the time that's entry fee just to get a normal sized business going. But some people who buy a small business that only nets about 60, 70,000, and they have that amount that they want to put. That's a considerable amount of money. Not many people have that in their bank accounts. Obviously, very few do.
And liquidity,
Exactly.
absolutely. You gotta
So
be
therefore,
liquid.
you have to think about that when you go ahead and talk about how much people want to put down.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great point. You got something to add?
Yeah, when selling your business, a lot of people think they make a lot of money and they're going to retire with the money they sell in a business. Realistically, I would assume that the receivables stop and that cash flow ends up stopping for them for the most part, and that gets transferred to a new buyer that takes over the business. So really, people make the money when they have a business and they operate it efficiently. When they sell it, they necessarily don't make like a cash cow, I would assume, that they live off of. And
Let's
that's
save
a big
that too for after the break. We'll talk about that because that's a great point you brought up, Matt. And when we come back, we're also going to do, after the break, top 10 most valuable brands according to Business Insider, and more from our expert contributors. We're going to hear from patent attorney Chris Tanner here in studio, as well as Matthew Fonk, and more from James Lascano. So you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Do not touch that dial. ConsumerQB.com. All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. Former USF football player, played on the inaugural football team at the University of South Florida for the Bulls, and real excited about the upcoming prospects for this year. We got Charlie Strong in now. Tampa Bay sports. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are improving as well. A lot of good things happening around the quarterback show and a lot of momentum now. We're your most important hour on the radio every Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. right here on 1250 Win, syndicated on the weekends as well on a large FM station. And we have a daily show as well on We Beam TV. So we are prime time, drive time. Real excited about a lot of the success that we're seeing, the prosperity. I want to remind you as well, check out our book on Amazon, Become the MVP in Your Industry by Surfing the Radio Waves. We're teaching entrepreneurs and business owners out there how to start their own TV show, their own radio show. And if you want to keep it simple, just do a podcast. You can really grow your sphere of influence. It's kind of the new school version of blogging. And it really helps out your SEO and your online presence by just simply starting your own and talking about what you know. You're interviewing different folks about what you know, and you're being a consumer advocate in your own right. So we're back here in studio, live from my heart, talking with James Lascano, Transworld Business Advisors. We've got attorney Chris Tanner coming up as well, intellectual property attorney, as well as Matthew Fonk, Cavalier Estates LLC, property management expert here in studio. A couple of hot listings for you. Just listed this property in Hernando Beach. Again, any builders, developers, entrepreneurs out here, commercial waterfront lots. We got 0 Shoreline Boulevard, Hernando Beach, and it's $94,000. 3 waterfront commercial lots at corner of Hermosa and Shoreline in Hernando Beach, as well as a beautiful residential property here on a ski lake, 8928 North Arowana Avenue in Tampa. 3-bedroom, 2-bath property, custom waterfront home on Twin Lakes, designed with the family in mind. 3-bedroom, 2-bath property listed at $389,000. Great buying opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay.
Sun is shining, the weather is sweet.
This segment is brought to you by Back In Health Massage. Michael Vogt, Back In Health Massage, helping people with neck, back, shoulder, hip, and leg pain feel better. Big shout out to my massage therapist, Michael Vogt, voted top 10 massage services in Tampa Bay by the readers of the Tampa Bay Business Journal's Best in the Biz Awards. All right, James, let's pick back where we left off. Matt brought up a great point there. He was talking about the cash flow issues that can sometimes occur when there is a transfer, when a property conveys, or when a business conveys.
Let me get back to that. I'll give you in a few seconds. I did want to mention a couple of listings that I had.
Yep.
One of them is a spectacular opportunity, eyelash franchise business available for only $150,000 for 2 locations. I didn't even know that this had become such a prominent business model that's going. Yeah, people. Really? There's so many women doing it on a daily basis.
They get them painted on for events and all kinds of stuff. Or is it painted on or installed?
No, this is actually attached to each eyelash. So I was looking at it. It's like, wow, they come in and they put this thing on you and they do the eyelash. I was like, wow, and it's a growing business. I mean, for them to be able to put a franchise out of it, and they have locations all over the U.S.
Wow.
And here in Florida, now in Tampa, they have 2. So that's available. I also have something that this is something incredible. After 30 years of being in Tampa Bay, an incredible business, a staple to the community. This business is selling because the gentleman is just tired. He's obviously owned it for over 30 years, and he just wants to move on. He wants to just enjoy his retirement.
What kind of business?
It's a radio installation for vehicles. They do high-end vehicles, boats, everything, and they've been around for over 30 plus years, and the business does 1.4 million gross. It's being sold for 800,000.
Wow.
Spectacular. I mean, this guy has people coming all the way from West Palm Beach to get the work done. So I mean, it's something that I was like, wow, this is amazing. He said, yeah, James, I started this so many years ago, and this business has been in magazines. The vehicles that it's worked on has been on magazines, TVs, news. I mean, this is really high end, so it's a beautiful place. And again, it's been here in Tampa for over 30 plus years. And of course, I wanted to mention that I have a jewelry / pawn store that I have, and it's all about gold. On this one, it's only $100,000. It's $100,000. It nets $75,000, and it has $20,000 worth of gold and silver. So
inventory.
3 great listings. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. It's a great location, and also does extremely well. To go back to Matt's point, if you want to go ahead and look at a business from the perspective, some people can go ahead and sell a business for an exuberant amount. But when you're talking small business, you've basically done well with the business. When you're ready to go, if you want to sell it at your peak, you're not going to get an exuberant amount. You're going to basically normally get about 2 years worth of income. Okay, on average. And that's what you want to look at. Look, if I can get 2 years worth of income, you sell it and you walk away, the next person, that's what the goodwill is. Because by law, what we're doing is doing a sale of assets. Okay, the person's not buying stock into the business. The actual corporation or the LLC is going to go with the original owner. They're just buying the brand. The brand of the business, and it's a good brand. You've built it, so they're going to buy that goodwill. They want to make sure that foot traffic continues to go there, and they're going to go ahead and own it. Some people don't even do that. Some people just go ahead and say, "Look, I'm even going to change the name." I don't understand why people do that. If you're buying the goodwill, but some people, they just buy a business, change the name. It's the goodwill that people recognize that brand for you to go back to. So any business that is purchased, you'll have your own corporation or LLC, and then it'll be doing business as the business that you recently
You
bought.
made a good point. I mean, when we sold our business, just going back, I mean, we sold it and the guy absorbed it into his business, but he bought everything. But a lot of people will probably come in, and if they don't have a broker and they don't understand what's going on, maybe they buy the stock. Maybe it's not the right tax decision on a purchase or a sale versus taking over. So I'm sure that's another benefit of having you come in as well.
Exactly. And what happens, like if we're talking of something that's going to be a stock sale, we do work on that. That's more of a mergers and acquisitions type of deal, because at that particular point, it's not even something when the businesses are like 20, 30 million, we're no longer looking at, hey, I'm going to price your business. It's a strategic sale.
Yeah.
So we're more looking at, we're going to put your business, we're going to find you 3 specific or 4 buyers, and we're going to tell them, here's the business available. It meets with your expansion of acquisition. Go ahead and offer bids. So that way we know what the business is worth, but we rather make it basically go up for auction in a way between the 3 or 4 solid buyers that we have that are looking to buy. So we have here in St. Petersburg is the only office in entire Florida that we have our mergers and acquisitions department for Transworld, and that's what we specifically focus on that. And those are businesses again that are doing stock sales or doing large acquisitions where we have to go sometimes to Wall Street, or we're bringing a big corporation buying a smaller one out.
This is James Lascano here, Transworld Business Advisors, expert contributor in the areas of business consulting or business brokerage. So if you're looking to buy or sell a business, this is the guy to talk to in Tampa Bay. We want you engaging us at our hotline at 813-917-1894.
Welcome to my house.
917-1894.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up.
All right, let's go ahead and shift gears. Let's talk a little intellectual property law, tax planning here with attorney Chris Tanner here in the house and in studio here. So we're talking, when we talk about intellectual property law, I think a lot of people get confused with that. Where do you want to start with that?
Well, I'll just give a definition that there's really 3 main ones that this audience is probably most interested in. There's actually about 12 categories, but the 3 main ones are patents, trademarks, and copyrights.
Right. Right. And so let's just do a quick brief description. So a patent, that's going to be something that you're patenting a certain process, a patent pending process, or could it be an idea?
Ideas, apparatus, methods of manufacture, method of use, method of sale, so processes, certainly. But in general, something at which there is some kind of proprietary or non-obvious improvement over other existing similar devices or processes. That would be suitable for patent. That would not be suitable for trademark, which is intended to protect brand identities and branding, such as the business that James was talking about a moment ago, where they bought it and then immediately changed the name. Hey, they are free to do whatever they want, but in general, you would think the reason they're buying it is because of the name and the goodwill associated with that. But that's a tricky area, but that would be protected by trademark. Now, copyrights are for original works of expression, art, music, film, and copyrights are more suited for that area. So there's kind of 3 quick definitions.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, when you look at the value of a business, and we're going to talk about the top 10 most valuable brands in the world according to Business Insider. So you think about brands on that level. A lot of the value is in the brand. A lot of the value is in the immediate message that your brain signals when it looks at that image or that logo. The logo that you see, there's going to be a branding occurring in your mind, and you're going to say, wow, okay, I recognize that brand. So we're going to talk more with intellectual property attorney here, Chris Tanner, when we come back as well. We're going to bring in Matthew Fonk, Cavalier Estates LLC, property management expert here, as well as more from James Lascano in our lightning round. And we're going to talk about the top 10 most valuable brands according to Business Insider. And a big shout out to Hula Bay, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Excellent food, wonderful location right there on the waterfront in South Tampa, right off of Tyson Avenue in South Tampa. Shout out to Mike Finnegan and his team. Excellent food. Very courteous and awesome staff right there at Hula Bay, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. So stay with us. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com. All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show. owner of Platinum MVP Realty and a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay. Featured in Florida Realtor Magazine multiple times, most recently Top Agent Magazine, the Tampa Bay Business Journal, and the Tribune, the Times rather, all recognized for innovation with marketing, helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties. I want you to save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you're going to need it. It's 813-917-1894. Program that number in your phone, 917-1894, and we're going to be your number one consumer advocate. We're going to make you more street smart here on the Quarterback Show every day. Your prime time, drive time at 8 a.m. Also Sunday morning show as well on a large FM station here in Tampa Bay. And so, but before the break, during the break, actually, we had some great banter coming up here. We're going to talk about some different access to that. And so want to give a big shout out as well to Source One Solutions, the official security partner of the Quarterback Show here. Robert Hessel and his team do a great job. Locally owned Source One Solutions, the official security partner. They utilize Honeywell technology to protect your home or your office and your business. So big shout out to those folks, longtime friends of the program, as well as Smart Move Moving and Storage, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And say hello to Hannah and her team over at Smart Move Moving and Storage. They do a great job for a lot of the folks here in Pinellas County, Hillsborough County as well. All right, so we're back here in studio, live from my heart. Got a hot listing I want to let you know about. This property is just a prime opportunity, 7814 Sims Road in Gibsonton. This is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath property, completely remodeled single-family home with the pool, and it also has over 4.5 acres, and you have a commercial building that's attached. It's on the same parcel of land. It's included in the $440,000 sales price. With the commercial property, you've got $2,000 a month of a generation from a cash flow and from a business at 7814 Sims Road in Gibsonton. Another beautiful property opportunity here in Tampa Bay. And let's go ahead and jump back into that. Between the breaks there, Chris, we were talking a little bit about that. Attorney Chris Tanner here in studio, James Lascano, business broker, Matthew Fonk, Cavalier Estates LLC. So, great point you had there talking about the different ideas around the lease.
Yeah, I'm going to phrase this as a question. We were talking about trademarks and how trademarks protect a brand and a brand identity and the branding that goes with the business. And I'm going to throw this question over to James Lascano, a business broker. James, in your earlier remarks, you talked about someone who bought a business from another individual and then immediately changed the name. In general, I would think, gosh, what a shame, because all the goodwill and the support and brand identity built with that name, you would think the new purchaser would want to keep it, but you had a pretty interesting answer.
Basically what happened was that the people bought the business to get part of for the lease. The lease was a real long lease at an extremely reduced rate for that area, and they would just go ahead and assume that lease, and then they could continue to run a business from there. They can actually rent it to somebody else if the lease permitted that. So that was the main purpose. So then a lot of people do that. I think, Matt, you were talking about that also.
Well, yeah, you hear all the time where a lease is bought at a discount because somebody needs some cash or they don't want to deal with it anymore, and they'll sell it to somebody else at a discount, and they'll collect the face value of the lease over time as well. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting.
I had recently somebody actually who went ahead and they have a 20-year lease that they can go ahead and rent anything to, and they're selling the business at a loss to get somebody who's going to pay them a rent that's over basically 50%, 50% higher than that they're paying on that lease. So they're going to be making money just on the lease and and not lose anything. So it's actually a smart move when you're able to get a long lease at a good rate that you're going to be able to go ahead, as long as that lease gives you the ability to do that, to either sell
sublease or sell it.
Sublease and rent and sell it. Yes.
Yeah, I understand. Thanks. And certainly there are many other cases in which a business purchaser would want to do that. But there are also many cases where a business purchaser, what he's getting for his money is tied up in the brand identity and the goodwill and the assets of the business. And in that case, you would arguably, not always, but arguably want to keep the name and the brand identity that goes with that name. So there's arguments and good opportunities in both directions.
All right. So speaking of brands, did you have something to add there, James?
Well, I was
Sorry.
going to tell him, especially about that new law that passed. We had a meeting. I was telling him earlier. The Mergers and Acquisitions Division came and was speaking specifically because trademarking has become so important when you're selling a business. To go ahead and tell everybody out there that owns a business, you should be trademarking your brand. It's very important, and it actually brings value to the business on many levels. And actually, at times, even if a business is not doing as well, the brand may be worth more than the business. That has happened, and that was one thing that I tell you. Call Chris and speak to him about that, because you really want to make sure that if you built a business for so many years, go ahead and do that trademark. It may become invaluable in the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
Go ahead, add some. Yeah.
Total thanks, James. Totally unexpected positive review of trademarks. One of the concerns I had on this drive time that you folks are listening to is that in general, people find it a little dull, and I find it's a good way to get people to walk away from me at cocktail parties and say I'm a trademark attorney. Boy, do they make a big circle about me. So, James, really rare, unusual for someone to endorse that and recognize the value. Thank you so much.
I like that. I just want to. There's a good reason, and you brought a good point up. There it was a location where I was from back in Wisconsin, and they used to call it Fridays.
Yeah.
And they got hit by Fridays.
Oh, wow. TGI Fridays.
Yeah, they made them change the name to something like Free Days. But it was, I mean, they were called Fridays. There was no other Fridays around, but somebody called them out. Small little town, but took it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I can see why it's so important to trademark any business.
Well, Matt, they should apply, and they should at least at the beginning. Here is my random act of kindness for the day, Brandon, and
Nice.
that is that people don't realize that you can mark something TM without necessarily having a federal registration or going through the attorney and the hassle and everything. That's a nice start to saying this is our mark, this is our brand identity, this is our turf, stay off it. Now, what Matt's referring to, though, is actually filing for federal trademark registration. But my random act of kindness of the day is to say, folks, there's a lot of really bright people, and I've had a lot of clients who do their own. In fact, there's one arguably in this room who does his own and doesn't need an attorney at all. And I'm the first to admit the whole legal profession has to embrace this level of client empowerment. We need more attorneys that admit, look, a lot of this you can do yourself. You don't have to pay me. And I'm the first to admit it, and trademarks is one place where that's true.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, very helpful as well as attorney Chris Tanner here in Tampa. All right, let's have some fun now. All right, we're gonna go ahead and open up this game. We're gonna do top 10 most valuable brands according to Business Insider, and we are going to. I'm gonna track it. We're gonna get one guess at a time. We're gonna We're gonna go counterclockwise like we normally do. I'm gonna put the initial of the winner here, or the. So let's jump right into it. So top 10 most valuable brands. James Lascano, you go first.
My wife would kill me if I didn't say Disney, since we go there every weekend almost.
I'm sorry. What was it?
Disney.
Disney. I'm sorry, buddy. That one's not on there.
Disney is not on there?
Disney is not on here.
I have others. Do I get another chance?
No, that's your one chance.
Oh.
Chris?
McDonald's.
McDonald's, number 9. So I'm going to put a C by that. Matt?
I'd have to say Nike.
Nike. I am so sorry to do that to you, Matt.
All right.
James? Top 10 valuable brands
Apple.
in the world.
Apple, yeah. Probably number
Apple is number 2, buddy. That's a good one.
one.
You got it. Not one on the minute.
All right, Chris.
Congratulations.
Sony. Oh, man, I'm so sorry I have to do this to you, buddy.
Are you serious?
Matt?
Under Armour.
Under Armour.
That would be new. All right.
Nope. James, back to you.
Windows.
Let me go to Gary on this one. Does this count as Windows?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we'll go to Microsoft.
Oh, okay.
Congratulations.
All right, Chris.
IBM, my former employer.
IBM number 10. You are absolutely right. You got that one. All right, so I'm going to put a C next to that. And Matt?
Verizon.
Verizon is number 8, Matt. James?
AT&T.
AT&T is number 4.
And just to add a little caveat there, AT&T is not actually AT&T. It's BSC. They bought AT&T just for the brand.
Last year's rank was number 6, so good point. Now they're number 4 on the list, and AT&T is the second telecom company in the top 10. And DirecTV as well. Anthony's telling me that, DirecTV. Couple monsters on this list here, guys.
I got others.
Where are we at? Who do we end up with, Chris?
I'm going to go with Samsung.
Samsung is a no. Negatory. All right, top 10 most valuable brands according to Business Insider.
Go.
Matthew Fonk.
Could it be like, TV shows, that kind of thing?
It could be any
like
technology,
Fox News?
technology companies. It could be social media.
Like Fox?
Fox. I don't know. Fox is not on here.
I know what he's doing next.
Nope.
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola is not on the list.
Wow, we're striking out way more.
Wait, Coca.
We're gonna have to save the rest for after the break. We're coming into our break, so we're gonna tally up these scores. I'm gonna have Gary help me out with the tally on the scores so far, and we got a couple monsters left on that list of the top 10 most valuable brands in the world, and more from our expert contributors. We got James Lascano in studio. We got attorney Chris Tanner, as well as Matthew Fonk, property management expert on the Quarterback Show. Shout out to the Maids Cleaning Service. They do a great job cleaning our real estate properties. 24-hour, 100% satisfaction guaranteed by the Maids Cleaning Service. They are referred for a reason. They do a great job cleaning our real estate properties. And we'll be right back after the break. Do not touch that dial. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com. All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty, and Rhymes Media Group. We got an awesome event coming up. Mark your calendar. Write this down. Plop it into your PDA. Business Growth Seminar and a rooftop happy hour. Friday, March 24th at 3 p.m. at the Hotel Zamora, our official hotel partner. We're hosting a Business Growth Seminar, 3701 Gulf Boulevard in St. Pete Beach. Friday, March 24th, 3 p.m. It's going to be packed with content all about helping business owners succeed, dominate online, your digital marketing, and also we're going to have action coach, business coach, Patrick Leese there as well, talking about the 6 universal principles of mastering persuasion and influence, and also 7 principles on business growth. And it's going to be pure content, digital marketing, beat your competition online. Friday, March 24th, 3 p.m. at the Hotel Zamora, and it's just another sponsored by Rhymes Media Group and Quarterback Productions. So we're back here in studio live from iHeartRadio, and your most important hour on the radio. We want you to program our number in your phone. At some point, you may need it. 813-917-1894.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
That's right, 813-917-1894 and consumerqb.com. So we're back here in studio. We're having some fun with you. We're going around the horn here. We're getting our expert contributors here in studio, and we're talking about the top 10 most valuable brands according to Business Insider. And where do we leave off? Who's up? Was it Matt? Chris?
I'm going to say Facebook.
Facebook. Boom. That's a good one. That one is surprisingly number 5, Chris. Number 5 on the list. Still, that's going to be a good. All right,
I'll take it.
Matt.
I would say Google.
Yeah.
Boom. Number 1.
Yeah, I was about to say
All right,
that.
Matt's got number 1 spot. All right, let's see, James.
Walmart.
Walmart. And you used to do some
Walmart
work
is
with
a-
Walmart, didn't you?
Yeah, I used to work at the
Not on the
University of
list.
Arkansas.
Not
But
on the list.
Walmart actually is just it's their stores in the U.S. I mean, they're the biggest company in the world because they own all over, but they have different names.
Could
all
be
over.
according to sales. It could be according to revenue. But as far as the most valuable brands is
Yeah.
what this is locating at. And so we got one on the list, two left on the list. And I'll go ahead and tell you, we've got number 7 is Amazon.
Yeah.
So that one was not said. And also number
Alibaba?
6. No, huh?
Alibaba?
What is that?
Alibaba is like the Amazon in,
Yeah.
Oh,
in
really?
Asia.
Did you guess that already?
No.
Oh, okay. So number 6 was Visa. So
Visa.
Visa was
Wow.
the number brand. So we've got so let's kind of go down the list, run down the list for our listeners. So we're doing the top 10 most valuable brands according to Business Insider. Number 10 was IBM. That was Chris said that. Number 9, McDonald's. Chris had mentioned that. So those are both at 80 in the 80s, 86.2 billion, 88.6 billion. Verizon came in at 8 at 93.2 billion. Matt said that. We got Amazon was the house account there. Number 6 was Visa. Number 5 was Facebook. Chris had mentioned that. 102.6 billion is the value of that brand. And its last year's rank was number 12, so they're increasing, they're improving. Number 4, James had mentioned, $107.4 billion brand of AT&T. Last year's rank was number 6, so they've moved up a couple spots. Also, James mentioned Microsoft, $121.8 billion, and last percent they were at number 3 last year. And number 2 was Apple, $228.5 billion brand is Apple. So very interesting there, and some notes talks about the new product launches there. And then, of course, number 1, Matt came in with number 1 at Google, $229.9 billion. Wow, that just less than $1 billion separates
Got a question?
those two.
Google
Now-
will answer it.
Now, here's
Yeah.
the thing that everybody should take, and especially our audience should look at this and really understand this. 10 years ago,
None of these were there. Right?
yeah, these companies.
Good point.
At all. I mean, a decade ago, these companies were non-existent, and it was more like and I mentioned Coca-Cola because Coca-Cola used to be that brand.
Right.
I was like, these brands were the ones dominated, and look at what we're doing. I would say almost 50% of those companies are all web-based,
Yeah.
internet-based.
James is right. They are all relatively recent. And what I was hoping James was going to say is, hey, you folks that are building your own brands and wanting to get bigger and grow stronger, file your trademarks.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting what you had said, and to kind of tag on that. My children go to school, and they had a meeting, and they said, we're teaching your children, we're giving them the tools to learn and succeed at jobs that we do not know are out there or going to be developed yet. And,
Exactly.
10 years ago, they probably looked at that and said, whoa, the world is changing.
Right.
And we need to, totally look at a different way of preparing these people for the real world.
Yeah,
One thing
the
I wish-
speed of change. It's Brian Tracy talks about that in one of his recent books as well. It's called The Speed of Change, and it's the information explosion. Number 1 is what's driving all these new ideas, right? So number 1 is information explosion. That's new ideas, disruptive ideas. You think about the one new piece of knowledge that can change the whole industry. So and then you talk about number 2 is technology expansion of business. So Nokia, BlackBerry versus the iPhone. Think about it. They were at a 49% market share. They said, "Oh, what's this iPhone coming out? You got to touch the glass." And we're not gonna. That's gonna be for the young kids, the artist type kids. And then BlackBerry obviously went down to 0.4% and bankrupt. And then part 3 of this equation is competition. So the competition is fiercer. They want to serve their customers faster and better, more aggressive, focused on changing customers' taste. And another example is McDonald's that was caught flat-footed by Chipotle, who served nice, awesome food. And then, of course, they bought them out. But the equation is SOC, so the speed of change, SOC equals IE times TE times competition. So that's information explosion, technology expansion times competition. So the rate of change will be faster each and every day. And this is why goals are essential. You've got to, constantly be improving, looking in ways that you can grow your business, ways that you can expand your knowledge base and be on the front end of those cutting edge technologies and trends that you're seeing in business. So let's go ahead and jump into our lightning round. Top consumer tips, things to do, things to avoid. James Lascano, Transworld Business Advisors.
First, I want to say, God, we live in exciting times. Think about what we just went over about technology. We live in an era where someone like there's new Picassos growing up every day. When you look at someone like Steve Jobs, so the opportunity is there for everybody. Whether you buy a business or you build your business or you start a business, I'd love to help you in any way possible. I would tell you the most important thing is, besides what Einstein would say is creativity, to be passionate about what you do. Either do it yourself or find someone that's going to make sure that your financials are in correct and in the proper order. And if not, that's one of the things that we'll do. We'll go help you organize them to make sure that we show the most profitable in any business. Even if you're starting a business and you just want to discuss what your exit strategy will be in 10, 15 years, I'll be happy to talk to you.
Perfect.
Okay?
And Chris Tanner, attorney Chris Tanner, intellectual property law, top tips, things to do, nuggets of advice for our small business owners out there.
Small business owners that are trying to build your brand, at least mark your stationery, your shirts, your other literature, and your materials, your business cards with TM.
I can add that TM still. Needle and thread, pal.
At least mark that because it gives you at least some common law rights, doesn't require any attorney, doesn't require any registration, and it's free. So there is what we could call a random act of kindness.
Great nugget of advice. Nugget of advice here. I did not realize that. So by putting TM on the end of your whatever it is, business name, show name, you have some level of protection.
As well as logo types and other things that symbolize imagery as well as product names. Use about 1/3 the size of the font of whatever the expression is and have it be in the lower right.
Love it. Love it. Great content, great expert contributor content there. Matt Fonk, Cavalier Estates LLC, property management expert. Nuggets of advice.
Yeah, speed of change. Well, with everything going on, we have so many tools in our industry that we're utilizing. The Matterport type photos, and Sean, we're using him for doing these photos and showing houses. And when people move out, we've got people going out and taking a visit with them, and then we send another service in, and we take photos. And we're so automated now with what we do in the property management side of our business. And you talk about the SOC, that speed of change. I mean, 10, 15 years ago, people didn't use what I have here, and I can operate my whole business.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I can be in Alaska, I can be in the Caribbean, and we operate this way. It's all in the cloud.
That device
Exciting
has more
times.
computing power than the materials that put the man on the moon in 1969. That
Yes,
device
it
in
does.
your hand right there.
You just got to be as smart as that. You just need to know how to operate it, I should say.
Yeah, you got to be as smart as the phone and the machinery, right?
Yeah.
Don't you just love how exciting these times are? I mean,
Love
our
it.
children look at it like you guys
It's
started.
a boom if you capture it. I mean, if you got a computer and an internet connection, you can do a lot. You can make people say, I don't know what to do. I can't find a job. Come on, think positive. What tools can you utilize to move forward with?
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way.
Right on.
I'm not saying I'm too old, but I remember when we had the phones with the with the rotary dial.
Yeah.
I'd pick him up, be a party line. My neighbor's on there talking. What do you? Well, I'll be off in 10 minutes. You can pick. Well,
Yeah.
Really great times, man. Really
Absolutely.
exciting times, man.
Well, hey, great show today, guys. I appreciate all the commentary and the expert nuggets of advice, educating our consumers, educating our small business owners out there. That's the goal of our show. We want you to think of this show as the hub of your financial, your business, your health, and all those different wheels of your life. And reach out and let us engage you, help you live a better life. And, of course, we want you as well to go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Something as simple as packing up leftover food you may have in your pantry, your fridge, carrying it with you to and from your commute to work, handing it to that person that you see in need. And there's also 5 ways that you can contribute, according to Tony Robbins. Take 10% of your money and give it away. Number 2, become a mentor. Visit and spend time with others in the nursing home, especially those folks who need visits. Give to those in need and become a volunteer. So I want to thank all of our expert contributors, our show producers, everybody behind the scenes making this thing happen. And I want our listeners to please consider committing a random act of kindness. We'll see you next time. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.